All right, guys, we are live. What is today? Today is December what? December, I don't know, I work from home. 15th, 2020. Wow, working from home, it just does not do well with knowing what day it is, huh? Hey, Mike, how you doing? HeartlandDefenders.com, as you can see on the screen next to me over there. Yes, I got the point right. And Heartland Defenders here on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, follow, hit the dinger at the top of the screen on YouTube, so you can see when we come live, as some of you have and are coming on, as I can see right now. Let's get Mike and Jacob in here. Let's see. There they are, and it looks like their audio's working.
Oh my God!
There they are.
There they are.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, I'm alive. I am alive.
He is alive. The helicopters and vans didn't take him away.
I heard they surrounded the hospital and everything, didn't they?
Well, after talking to a few people inside the hospital, that wouldn't have shocked me.
Conversations must be had, people. That's what we're saying. Conversations must be had.
It was rough.
Open conversations only gonna spark people's interest or make them kind of go,
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to share that we're live.
Here, I'll give you a little word of advice. If you start a conversation and their immediate response is "you're racist," just walk away, because you're not getting any further than that.
Well, but I couldn't. I was attached to tubes. They wouldn't let me leave.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah, they had me. I was stuck.
Yeah, that kind of stinks. You can't walk away from that conversation then.
So how do I get back to the chat when I'm on a...
Ooh, I don't know. Especially if it's an Apple product. That's one of the job things I was looking at. They were like, oh, great, you've got, experience supporting IT stuff and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what about Apple products? And I'm like, I owned an Apple product like 8 years ago.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I got the new Apple Pro. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's pretty cool. The screen's pretty snazzy, man. It's got the movie camera. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what. Mm-hmm. Take some pretty solid pictures, man.
Well, I just picked up. I mean,
today. And I hate iPhones, but man, my iPad.
Today it just came in the mail. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. It's
got the 3 cameras on it.
I'll just keep running with my shitty old Android.
Hey, at least you don't have a flip phone.
My phone is. I got a Kyocera phone, but it's the most indestructible thing I've ever owned. This is probably my 6th one. I keep getting the whatever Dynaforce or whatever it is, and it's a dinosaur. But I'm gonna tell you what, you can't. Just like me, so far you can't kill it.
Right.
Allegedly.
Ooh.
Allegedly. While we're over here talking about conversations working out real well with them, you better learn.
Oh, dude, it's whatever. I mean, I've been trying. I've been trying because I've been pretty salty lately. I ain't gonna lie, on pretty much everything.
Are you salty? Are you salty?
Yeah.
Or are you just salty?
Oh yeah, back of the salt truck salty. Yeah, I've been throwing big chunks of salt out. Yeah, it's what it is, because I'm just like we were talking before we came on. I just it isn't fair to say I hate them all, but man, I like less and less of them, and I don't care what I've been going back and even looking at, having some time at home, having to relax and, reflect and, with having, medical conditions and shit and looking at shit, there's probably just as many Republicans that have, fucked us as the Democrats over the years. You know what I mean? They're the same bird. Two wings of the same bird.
Right.
It's always been said that the Democrats are the bullet train, the freaking diesel locomotive. They're the same fucking thing, going the same fucking place. Just at what speed are we doing it?
Yeah, and I'm sick of it. I mean, I'm sick of that part. I'm sick of the politics. I'm just sick of the politics. I'm just tired of the they don't represent us anymore. So it's sad.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Last week we talked about it. What would you do? I mean,
burn it all down.
We talked about the.
Is he choppy for you too, Cosper?
But that's my question. Do we take, because we all are in agreement, I assume, that we take the framework that the founding fathers put down on the Constitution.
Somebody's messing with your internet at home.
We keep with that.
Oh, wow.
Not to my knowledge.
You've got a black van parked out front or something.
Yeah, you almost lost screen right there. Now you're better.
No, I just stopped moving.
Maybe.
I just stopped moving.
No, the whole screen went like craziness.
Good. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, framework, yes.
Anyway, we plan on keeping the framework that our founding fathers put down and the amendments that corrected issues from the past, right? So where do you start? Do you just say, okay, fine, fuck it. If you've been in politics for the past 5 years, you are ineligible to run for anything here on out, and just start all over?
Well, yeah, you have to wonder, and that's where it gets interesting as constitutional people, which I believe most of us that come on here and watch are. The Constitution was not perfect. I mean, we know it's not perfect. They left certain things in the Constitution to fix it along the way. Amendments, the Constitution has been amended several times for that reason, because it wasn't perfect. Not everybody agreed. Just like, unlike now, where it's not even, back then, I think, there were people who didn't agree, but they were still able to come to a consensus that, okay, this might not be perfect, but it's the fairest and most perfect that we can come up with at this time. And I think back then they didn't think about term limits and things like that because, let's be honest, people didn't live into their 80s. People didn't, the population was nowhere near what the population is now. I don't know if the founding fathers ever dreamed of a fact of a county with millions of people, much less a country with millions of people.
I'm thinking more along the lines of, okay, we're gonna spitball here. We're gonna have a little
there's a few
room thought process.
But okay.
whoa.
Right.
That's a different show.
So politician, air quote, every politician, you're out. All new elections. You can never have been in public office to run. You campaign. You get elected. We have all new politicians. House, Senate, President.
I prefer all new representatives, but go on.
Right.
Representatives.
Okay.
Politicians. Period. And judge. Here's my question. What about the Supreme Court? What about the DOJ? What about the DOD? What about the FBI, the CIA? What about the NSA?
Well, I think they all need. I think it all needs to come back. Yeah, I think it all needs to come back. That's probably part of the problem. There are so many entities that have been created over the years that, let's be honest, we know. I'm not the big conspiracy guy, although I'm becoming him. you know damn well that a lot of these alphabets are no longer like the Constitution. They don't even like what the Constitution. What? No, we were created because we don't need that.
Well, I mean, look at
we were created to circumvent that. We do it this way.
Well, look at the ATF and what they're doing with 80% kits that are going on right now. They're all of a sudden illegal. There was no legislation passed saying they were,
right.
But all of a sudden that kit's illegal because of certain parts. That's not in the legislation or in any law. They're just saying it's what it is.
Just go look at Joe Biden's, I'm not going to pick on Biden all night, but go look at Joe Biden's his campaign website and just read some of his, not even just gun control. Go ahead and read some of his other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wants to circumvent the Constitution in so many ways on so many topics. It's like it makes you wonder if he's even read the damn thing.
Right.
I mean, it's like things he's calling about doing, strictly through executive order. And I mean, God, I bet if I had $1 for every time he used the executive order on his website, we'd all be rich.
Oh, and by the way, anybody that ever said the ATF wouldn't go house to house to get guns that are illegal,
yeah,
here's your proof that they're willing to do it because they've done a business and they're starting to go to customers' homes.
And
Jeremy,
how are they doing it without being invited by the governors of those states?
I don't know if they're doing it.
Right.
They went to the company. They got the list of the names of everybody that bought that kit from them, and they went there.
A little funny.
What?
I want to throw in a little funny. Hold on.
Oh.
Mike, me and you talked about this earlier. Jeremy, if you could do me a favor, pop up on your screen so they can see it here in the show. Go to Facebook, search for Joe Biden, look for his page, and look beside his name. Everybody remembers that 2 days ago, the electors, all over the media, Joe Biden president, right? All over the media, Joe Biden president, right? Facebook, look up his name.
Says politician.
And look beside his name.
Politician.
Shouldn't that say president-elect?
Well,
It did.
Well, the fact checker's fact, and he's not apparently. I don't know.
It did. That's the thing. It did. They changed it. So, does everybody realize Kamala Harris is still a representative?
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't resigned.
Oh, of course not. She won't resign until the day that she's inaugurated.
Right.
As president, probably. But
oh, jeez.
Did y'all catch the coughing fit he had at the drive-in rally or whatever he was at?
Did he have the Rona?
He couldn't put 3 words together without coughing.
Oh,
dude, he's.
Here's another.
I'm not lying. Look it up. Look it up.
But this election is proven. My point. It's such a mockery that it's all just such a mockery of what our founding fathers put together. And it's great too because you gotta love that side because now they're all like, ooh, Electoral College, yay, good Electoral College, because Biden's got the Electoral College now.
But for the last 4 years, get rid of the Electoral College.
Oh yeah. I mean, they spent 3 years telling us they should get rid of the Electoral College, and now it's like, no, sorry, Orange Man's still bad, Electoral College good.
Hey, also, another question I have, too, since we're dealing with Joe Biden sites and stuff. Has anybody happened to wonder why Facebook is not allowing anybody to post about going to the Antifa.com website and what it does? They're blocking everybody that posts that. Yep. So Facebook is blocking everybody that posts, or they're blocking the posts that state, hey, go check out the Antifa.com website. That then once you go to Antifa.com, it immediately kicks you to the Joe Biden's website for presidency.
You do realize that YouTube bans any videos that reference voter fraud, right? And
you said the words, damn it!
if you just are writing. Somebody the other day, they were writing something not even about the election. They were saying something. It was just a post to, like family members or something, and it had the word election in it. All it had was the word, and we weren't even talking about the election, and that stupid fucking box still came up at the bottom. Oh, to see official, election results. And I'm like, he wasn't fucking talking about the election. Right. What are you doing?
Yep. I mean, but to me, that's way too hard to convince everybody that this is what it is. It's not that. This is how it is. It's not gonna be that.
But everything. But hasn't the whole year been like that? At this point, I mean, what haven't we? What do we believe anymore? I mean, honestly,
am I the only one that expects December?
How can we believe anything?
Am I the only one to? Well, am I the only one that expects December 31st is just going to turn into December 32nd? It's not going to be January 1st. It's going to be December 32nd.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything. I don't think it's going to be sunshine and roses the day after 2020 ends.
No.
Today at work, I saw a billboard, one of the electric signs in front of a business or whatever, and literally the sign said 2020 has to be better. 2021 has to be better.
Yeah, but I've also seen a similar sign to those.
You get, what is better?
Well, I'm also seeing the signs that are saying that, wait till 2020 is old enough to drink. I mean, seriously. Wait till it turns 21 and can drink, damn it. We're fucked.
Well, yeah, I mean, but going back to, that's what I just don't, and I think that's where, I've gotten salty on all of it, is that, there's just no integrity in our government anymore. I mean, a vast majority of it. There are very few people who I think are now, in a House seat, in a Senate seat, that truly give a crap about, the 7 of us on here, much less, the 150 million of us plus, that vote. And I really don't think they care about us, a vast majority of them. And that's the problem that that's the problem that has to be fixed. There has to be something done that makes them aware that we're aware, because I think that at this point, they just think we're so ignorant that we're just gonna, I think they just believe we think 2021 is just gonna be, we're all gonna, once the ball drops, hopefully at 10 o'clock, because we're not allowed out after 10. Hopefully when the ball drops, we can, we'll all be, singing Kumbaya together and shit.
But yet they allowed the Browns game.
How the fuck is that gonna work?
Well, but here's the funny thing. They allowed the Browns game on Monday Night Football. The Browns game didn't start till 8:30. It didn't end before 10 o'clock, so all them MFers in the stand were still there after 10 o'clock. I didn't see any issue there.
No, they were given that game, next week's game. There's several. They've all been given, sporting events have been given, because, Corona doesn't live at a sporting event after 10.
But at the bar. Only at the bar or any social gathering.
Corona is only at the bar. Corona is only at the bar where the true serum, that is alcohol, gets consumed. Allowing you to speak to people that you would never speak to before, and conversations happen that of politics.
But they're also allowing all the big, stores to be open for the holidays to be able to make their money. But we're okay to stand in line there.
People, Jeremy,
we're allowed to stand in line, crazy talk. But I'm not allowed to sit at a table and eat with you guys.
Again, I go back to the fact that while you're at the store shopping, you're not conversating with people. Number 2, last week we talked about it. You put that mask on because they make you put that mask on. Do you really want to talk to that robot next to you with a mask on, or do you just keep doing what you're fucking doing?
But you're actually in a store where they can't control what people are touching. So you pick up an item. How many other people have touched that item? You never know. But I can go to a restaurant and know the only person that's touched my silverware is the person sitting me down that possibly has rubber gloves on or whatever they're doing for protect. I can control what I'm touching versus what other people are touching at a store, because at a store
it does. But what you're saying is perfect example of why I don't trust any of it, because if we can be responsible enough to wear a mask or whatever, follow protocols and go into a big shopping a big box store, how is it that we can't be trusted to go elsewhere, with the same protocol? How come, perfect example, how come for so many places, how come you can't go into a church with a mask on, but you can go to the grocery store right after church?
Or Target, or any store to buy gifts.
I mean, I think that's where I've got into the that's where I'm buying into, but that's where I'm buying into now, that it's not about your health anymore. Well, there's so much hypocrisy behind it.
I think there's a political reason too. Aren't churches typically tax exempt?
But what does that have? I don't understand.
Well, how much taxes do you think the government season from these big chain box stores?
Oh, I'm sure some of them. I'll be willing to bet that a lot of them have federal loans.
Oh yeah.
That have kept them in business.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Oh,
so let people go to church, talk about religion and whatever else happens. AKA politics. People like us talk about politics all the fucking time. So there's that. Or go to Walmart and pick up your holiday essentials. Government makes money. Businesses stay. The big businesses, the ones that are already way down deep in the pocket of the government. I mean, your mom and pop stores aren't still kicking like that. I mean, how many commercials have you seen in the last month? We're 10 months into this bullshit where they're still like, don't forget to buy from your local stores. Keep those guys afloat. Like, motherfucker, you're the one locking them down and shutting them out.
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, it goes to another problem. Let's be honest. The big box stores owners are lobbyists. They're lobbyists. I mean, you can't, if they're not lobbyists, I'll guarantee that they're campaign contributors to one side or the other.
Oh God, yes.
And I bet they.
I can tell you where I work, they have a pack. Where I work, there is a fucking pack for the company. There's a pack.
There you go. And I'll guarantee you, people like the Waltons, which, you know what? God bless them. They've made a gazillion dollars, between them. Hey, you know what? The man started with a small store, turned it into a billion and billion dollar industry for his children. God bless him. You know what? Cool. I'd like to be a fucking Walton, truth be told. But I'll guarantee you that they flip millions to both sides, because you need to grease both wheels on the bike to get anywhere.
Right.
I'll guarantee they're not Democrats or Republicans. I'll bet you they're both, because it's all the same bird, and you gotta feed them both, or you ain't gonna get shit.
Hey,
because I get how do you think? Let's be honest. How do you think they've kept unions out for so long? You can't tell me they're not greasing Democrats and telling them to keep the unions off of their asses so that they can keep making money and greasing the Republicans and the Democrats.
And Mike, just so you know, a lot of them do have stocks in a lot of the big companies, and they're immune to insider trading, even though they normally know before anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Hillary Clinton and all the crap that went on with her and her insider trading, and everybody's like, oh my God. And then we found out, well, it doesn't matter because she's immune to it.
Oh, of course. But that goes back to everything we're saying. They pass legislation that affects the people, but not themselves.
They should have to follow the same laws we do.
Yeah.
I, not thee.
Well, yeah. But I don't know how. And I think Palmer, and I talked about it, a week or so ago. This is, maybe you need a Boston Tea Party. Maybe you need, we, as in we, like everybody, not like the Yahoo Trumpers or the Yahoo bot. We, as a combined people, need to come together and keep them all. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. You're never going to come up with a bill or a law or anything that makes everybody happy. But it should be constitutional. It should represent what the people want, and it shouldn't line the pockets of the people involved in creating that legislation.
Nope.
I heard a rumor.
That's something called conflict of interest, I think.
I heard a rumor that I think some people might be meeting in Columbus.
It's a possibility.
This week.
I keep seeing these posts about Friday's date.
4P Friday 18 Capitol?
You got it.
Yeah, 4P Friday 18 Capitol. Yeah.
Yes. And it's something that I think you probably, if you're just tired of being tired, might be the kind of place you want to show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about who you voted for. It's not about
who you're registered to vote.
No,
it's not about the color of your hair. It's not about the chains you wear. It's
or what group you represent or what organization you represent. I believe it's more of if you believe yourself to be part of we the people, which if you don't believe you are, that's probably an issue, and maybe you should come down anyways and discuss that with someone. I think it's the kind of thing you should probably show up at. It's probably going to be something different than you've ever been to. So I hear.
That's the rumors I'm hearing.
We shall see. We shall see. But I think, and I think some real grassroots things have to happen like that. And I don't even think it's going to come from the Libertarian Party. I mean, I think they're trying and they're starting to make some ground. And I don't think it's going to come from the Constitutional Party.
I feel like the party thing needs to go out the fucking window.
It's got to be us. It's got to be us.
How many parties have I heard of in the last year? Constitutionalist Party, Independent, Libertarian, Green Party, Tea Party. There was
I think the Communist Party still
on the ballot.
America. I'm pretty sure the Communist Party still alive.
It is. Republican, Democrat. I mean, fuck the parties, guys. It's like it ain't a party. Yeah. It ain't a party. When you stop and you look at fuck it, I'll blow their ass out of the water. You look at the Constitutional Party. It's a political fucking party. They've got their agenda. They got their time. Fuck that shit. It's we the people versus the fucking elite. When we're having the conversation of it's they make rules for us. They don't have to abide by it. When we're talking about if I fucking do anything insider trading wise, I'm thrown in prison for the rest of my fucking life. These guys just fucking get to do it. It doesn't really matter.
Well, anything, how many of them that passed Obamacare dropped their cushy Senate health care and took on Obamacare?
I'm pretty sure that's a fucking giant goose egg.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
At the
sure.
same time, they're looking at us like, you get to keep your healthcare provider.
Yeah, and they did.
Yeah.
Most people didn't, but they did.
Well, when they didn't read the damn thing, so how would they have known? They knew they were keeping theirs, so they were just telling us. They were telling us what they knew they were going to do.
Fair. Yeah, and it's where I'm just so sick of it anymore. I mean, I really am. I mean, it's like, I wonder if you sat, how many of these people in Congress and the Senate, on the federal level, much less on the state level, you sat them down and actually quizzed them. And I'm no genius. I'd get a few wrong myself. But how, if you were there representing us and representing the Constitution and what it means, man, you better know that thing from front to back, I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. If that's your job is to represent,
you really?
Same as, well, but, and that goes to your thing about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's another one. It disgusts me that you can line up the Supreme Court justices and I can go conservative, liberal. Where's the constitutional guy on the Supreme Court? Because that's kind of what they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to be conservative. They're not supposed to be liberal. They're supposed to interpret the Constitution and apply that to the case in front of them. They're not supposed to vote for the dude who's taking them out for the $400 dinner after the court case.
Right.
And that's what, and that's where we're at. And it's, it is. Politics has become NASCAR. Because they're all sponsored by somebody.
They should all be wearing jackets with sponsor patches on them.
They should, because I would at least like to know what products to stop.
I threw this analogy. I threw a similar analogy out to you before the show started. But you look at politics right now. You look at the representatives right now. You look at the 24-hour media bullshit that we deal with every day, 5, 6, 7 channels, right? 10 channels of 24-hour news, right? You can't tell me that watching
news is a stretch, but go on.
Very loose, very loose term, very loose term. But you can't tell me it's not like watching college sports or pro sports.
Oh,
unless you are a diehard sports fan, you can't tell me who the second string fucking defensive end is for the Ohio State football team, right? You don't know. You only know the quarterback's name, the running back's name, maybe a handful of linemen, because that's what the sports 24-hour channels talk about, is these certain fucking people with big important names, big important positions. Same concept with politics. But here's the problem. These people are there representing you. If you have no fucking clue who's there representing you, how are they fucking representing you?
True. Yeah, how many people don't? I mean, how many people don't know their representative? How many people just go into the booth and go, "Oh, that's the one with the R." Not knowing if they even represent you. Now, I'll tell you, in my defense, I know Grindell, who represents me here in Geauga County, because I've met her, I've sat down and talked to her, because I've had questions about things she's done in the past. And I'll tell you what, in this last election, and for the last, I'd say 2 or 3 years, she's been pretty hard on anybody who she was very much against. A lot of the things DeWine did that were not in line with the Ohio Constitution. And she called him out on several occasions. I believe she even lost committee positions because she opposed him so hard in chambers. So I respect it, because you know what? She was
so
saying
she was punished? Wait. Let me ask you this
for
question.
representing me.
She was punished for having a differing opinion than DeWine?
Shocker, isn't it?
But wait, y'all know that Cindy Johnson from Michigan, the one that, basically did a video
feed. Don't get me started.
Telling the Republican Trump supporters to get right?
Dude.
She was punished for that, and now the fucking, I think it's the NAACP or somebody, like the Black Caucus or whatever in Michigan, is telling them to revoke that punishment and to punish themselves for punishing her.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That chick, I don't know what, you want to talk about Mr. Palmer's talking about, the Green Dragon that day in Columbus. Yeah. I tell you what, man, we might skip the Green Dragon if more of those people show up. I'll tell you, I watched that video a couple times. I was like, dude, my head was about to explode. I was like, are you like that stupid?
Oh, she's done it twice now.
As a representative, you're going to come out and threaten,
Maxine Waters did it.
A good half of the people.
Maxine Waters did it.
Well, she's another one that I'd like to kick right in the ass too. But that's
the hypocrisy. That's the bullshit.
They're not representing. Again, they're not representing us. They're representing themselves when they get into. Because I'm going to bet you, I'd be willing to bet that there are even people that voted for her that were like, "What the f are you doing, chick?" Like, I'm not that guy. I don't know what you're saying here or what you're trying to start, but that's not a fight I want, my friend. Because that's the kind of shit that gets freedom seeds starting to get thrown around.
Nope.
I'm just saying. I mean, people are going to start playing catch if they start going, hey, take care of them.
For the NSA, the FBI, the CIA that's watching right now, that is allegedly. Allegedly.
No, I don't even think that's allegedly. I think you start threatening people and telling them that, take care of them. I think shit's going to get started.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's a fight anybody wants right now. I mean, if that's where they want to go, okay.
So here's my other question, because we've been to a bunch of rallies. The three of us together have been to a bunch of different rallies, right?
Oh, sure.
we do know at least a small element of the Columbus Antifa, right?
Hey, I'm still here kicking, my friend, so you simmer down. Go ahead, continue with your. I got some new parts.
I know a small element of the Columbus Antifa, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you say you kind of hope some of them people show up, are you talking about the ones from the Columbus Antifa? Or are you talking some from like Portland, Michigan, New York, D.C.?
Oh well, I'll be honest with you on that little thing that's happening in Columbus. Apparently, I'm hoping everybody shows up because I would like to have a conversation. On a personal level, I'd like to have a conversation with anybody and everybody that shows up if possible. Because if they don't understand that, they aren't representing them, especially a group. Especially a group like Antifa. If they think, if they think that the Democratic Party is representing them, they've got another thing coming. Because I guarantee you, there's not going to be like hot chocolate and roses for all of them when Biden takes office.
Well, that's
allegedly for those of you who don't believe the election, but
aren't we up to like 34 days that the Biden administration has not responded to BLM or wasn't it? It was BLM and somebody else.
Yeah. Well, did anybody know? There's another curious thing that I just saw, on my little bed rest trip. Did anybody know there was another autonomous zone in Portland?
Yes. I knew.
I've been seeing some things, but because
I thought it was all sunshine and roses now that Biden was elected.
Oh no, riots haven't stopped.
But
the riots haven't stopped. The media stopped covering them.
Yeah, right, because there is video of them literally pushing the police department out of the autonomous zone. I mean, like, flat out punching, throwing things, like, until they got back in their cars, and then they started pelting their cars. They literally made the police department retreat in Portland. But I didn't see word one of it on any major media source.
So let me ask a question. Let's pretend. Okay, let's pretend this Friday, this little thing happens in there in Columbus, and we get a frog hair right up our ass.
I haven't heard.
You know what? Fuck it.
From our buddy Derailed, I did not hear that one. I gotta look that one up. Demanding about getting paid for getting Joe in office. I gotta look up that one.
Yeah. No, they requested a meeting like 34 days ago, and they have yet to respond.
That's what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
To make it even worse, a Zoom meeting with Joe and Camel Toe happened with a bunch of black leadership, and BLM wasn't involved.
Come on, if you're gonna give nicknames, at least give him Uncle Touchy.
Involved.
Oh, so is it now Uncle Touchy in the toe?
Yeah.
Uncle Touchy in the toe. I like this. Uncle Touchy in the toe.
Dude, that'd be a
cartoon. Sounds like a Primus side project.
What would happen if we show up in Columbus and we decide, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna take this section and this is ours. We put up caution tape, we put up barriers, and we just camp out there. We stay there. How long do you think we'll last?
I guess it depends on how many Trump flags showed up and they could call us Nazis or not.
Okay.
I think if they can't figure out who we are and why we're there, I'm curious to see their reaction. Hence the meeting or whatever it is in Columbus you want to call it. That's why this isn't, from what I understand, this isn't a political meeting as much as this is a gathering. It needs to be. This has to be something completely different or organic than anything else that's ever happened, because the autonomous zones and all this garbage, as a constitutional person, I don't think that that's the route necessarily the way to go, because I don't think we have to take the land, because I think it's already our land. You know what I mean? As we the people,
I'll agree with that.
We just need to come together and figure out how is it that we can take our power back, because we do. All you have to do is read the Constitution and know that it's there. We the people have the power. There has to be something done, because I don't think the autonomous zone type things, the rioting, the burning of things down, it gets you attention. It even gets your organization millions of dollars, but does it change? Has BLM really? their tactics and Antifa, has it really changed anything, even in their favor? I mean, has it really, other than DC now has a BLM Plaza. Okay,
well,
who cares?
That's the issue that they're having, is that they got all this attention for the BLM for the election, and the minute the election happened, if you go look at the trend, if you go look at the trend, it did it in 2016 and it did it in 2020. 2016 was this big, 2020 was this big, but it went up and came right back down, and that's where they're sitting. 34 days later, nobody gives a fuck about them anymore. And when I say nobody, I mean the Democratic Party, the one that used them as cannon fodder to get elected.
Which is the saddest part. Which is the saddest part because, some people within that organization don't even realize the power that if, I don't think there's anybody here between the three of us, especially on this show, or anybody watching, I don't believe, that doesn't think that the murder of an unarmed person in the streets by the police is a horrible thing. I don't think there's anybody on here right now that would disagree that is a horrible thing that should never happen in America. And imagine if we all came together to fight that problem rather than just forming in separate organizations.
Wasn't it the George Floyd killing that the first 48 to 72 hours, everyone around the country was on the same page? It was wrong. It was bad.
Oh, it was a very 9/11 moment. After.
It was for like 72 hours, and then the left took it and ran, and all of us free-thinking people went, whoa, wait a minute, you want to do what because of that? You want to blame every cop in the country because of that? No. And that's what led everybody to start investigating it and looking at it. You get the false flag reports, you get the it was a body double, you get this guy and that guy worked together, you get all the conspiracies, you get doubt put in place. They literally had the opportunity to unite the entirety of the country, just like you said, like a 9/11 moment, and they, good crisis go to waste concept here, they take it and run. I mean,
yeah, and that's I think it's more proof of what is going on with all of this. It's the minute there's a moment like that we can actually come together, they immediately there's factions that immediately come in and drive us apart because they don't want that unity moment. They don't want that moment where we all come together and go, whoa, wait a minute. Shit's got to change because this ain't right. They immediately, and you know what? I don't even think that the groups that first started protesting and were seriously angry and wanted police reform, I don't believe those are the same people who went in there and started burning shit down. I think the burning of shit down was the false flag to get us divided, because the minute things started burning, even those of us who were kind of on that side were like, okay, now you lost me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now you lost me. I was all for, I was ready to hit Minnesota with you, but now you're going to go burn down some poor dude that spent his entire life for a bar, a black business owner, spent his entire savings to build a brand new bar in that town, and you burn it down in the name of police brutality?
Well, I'm pretty. Didn't the retired black police chief get shot trying to protect a friend of his business during all that? But here's another question. Here's another question for we the people. What happened? What happened with that? Is is it all said and done?
I think it
What
all
about
goes back to
what
politics.
about the cop? I mean,
Yeah,
are
what
we
happened,
that
what
short?
happened with that? I mean,
Right.
not to get completely off. So what happened with that?
Couldn't tell you. I mean, it did what it needed to do. It divided the shit out of the country, and then the riots started, and the looting started, and everything else, and that's what continued all through the summer.
And
And now
helped.
And nothing.
But if you look
Well,
back at the summer, though, there's so many things that contributed to dividing even more and dividing even more. Everything from the the shooting of innocent people in the street, to some George Floyd dying, to fuck you, wear a mask. No, fuck you. You're insensitive and not trying to protect me. It's all multiple things piling to divide us more and more and more, to keep us from becoming a bigger group. It's keeping us small. It's keeping us.
It is.
It's keeping us small.
It is. Yeah, and I think that's why I really think that's why you have to. I think a true movement to change things in this country has to start small.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you start, it's like when you burn boxes in your backyard. That's what riots remind me of. You take a bunch. I've got a porch full of boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I take them out there and burn them. Man, I've got a great huge fire for 30 seconds.
Yep.
For 30 seconds. And then it's gone. If you don't start with tinder, and then small branches, and then bigger logs, and then bigger, and grow and make it a huge fire that you can go to bed at night and get up the next morning and there's still embers burning. If you don't create that kind of fire, you're never going to change anything in this country, because the minute the flames are gone, poof, it's gone.
Right.
The message is gone. The heat is gone. The flames are gone. It's just gone. It's gone like paper. And that's why I think these things that they go straight to. Well, you got blocked down there, boy. I don't know who that blocked, but
That message retracted.
Yeah.
yeah, what happened there? But that's that's why I think to truly change this country, you have to start with the spark rather than going straight to the flame. Because, yeah, and it does keep us controlled. The more we get divided, the more we keep control. And everything.
Well,
And then it goes back to what Jeremy said, the masks, everything else. It is. That's why I don't think anymore. I don't think the masks. I think the masks idea in the beginning was I think there were good intentions, just like a lot of things were, but then it became a way, oh, hey, we can kind of control even more shit if we turn this into a thing.
Well, let me ask you this question. So, how many people, and Palmer, you don't need to respond to this, we already know you, but how many people in 2019...
Hey, Jane, real quick, keep that thought. Jane, until we build a real fire.
Right.
That's how many times. Because we haven't done spark. We've gone straight to gasoline and dynamite.
Right.
You go straight to gasoline and dynamite, doesn't work.
Or it's the people trying to start the fire with the giant-ass logs right at the beginning, where they have to keep lighting it because they want that big fire right at the beginning and not...
So what you're saying is it's not that song where we didn't start... No, we're going to start the fire, right?
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
going to start the fire.
Hypothetically,
Got it.
we're starting the
So
fire.
let me ask you this question. And this is for the whole flopping...
Not literally.
It's a metaphor. Oh.
Just to be clear, YouTube and anybody else watching, we're not starting any real fires.
So, 2019, how many random people did you talk to, comparative to random people talking to in 2020? like you said, like you said, Mike, you were at the hospital. You were laying on a table getting a procedure done. You had a conversation with a couple of people, right?
Yes.
You were there for what? If walking down the street, seeing somebody. I remember in 2019, walking. I think it was maybe it was 2018. Walking through the Renaissance Fair, right? Wearing my soft shell jacket because it was just a cooler evening, right? Had a big 3%er patch right there, right? And a guy randomly walking by me going, "Hey, brother, like your patch," right? How many people do you remember in 2019, 2018 seeing tattoos? Hey, brother, nice tattoo. I like that. The AR, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still see that right now?
Not
10 months, 11 months into COVID-19.
No, because those people are 6 feet away from you and don't want to talk to you.
They're afraid to talk to you, or they're staying home and they're not going out to things like food fairs.
Let's not even get into the conspiracy theory that the mask dehumanizes people. Let's not get into the conspiracy theory that the mask is a vice for control. It's a muzzle. We're not even getting into that. Let's just get into the fact that they put enough fear into the system through the media and the of COVID-19, whether it's real, whether it's not, I'm not having that discussion. They've put enough fear into people that simply having a conversation with somebody that you don't know is a sin right now.
Pretty close. Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Look at somebody in a bar that you don't know and say, "Hey, want to have a conversation?" Start off with small talk about sports, end with a fucking dissertation in the Constitution. Doesn't happen because there's so much fear, maybe not from you, maybe not from them specifically, but there's so much fear and so much unsuredness that you won't even have these conversations with people in this year. You won't have, and here's the thing. More than 21 days, now it's a habitual fucking habit. You won't have these conversations with people ever.
Well,
until you have 21 consecutive days having conversations with random people on the street, then the habit will be broken. You can have conversations with people. But they have feared us into not talking to people so well that I guarantee you it is going to be hard to start any conversations come 2021.
But they've taken away a lot of that opportunities too, because the social events, the food truck fairs, the things you would go to that I would normally, for me, would get the "hey, nice shirt" when I would wear my "We the People" shirt or pissed. Those kind of things have been taken away because of what's going on. So we don't have those opportunities as much either, which is probably another thing that's getting people to be more recluse and not talk to people as much because they feel more comfortable in their own shell now because they haven't had to deal with people as much because you can't go do the fun things you used to. I think that's a lot of the problem is that we're, like you said, it's that more than 21 days of doing this thing that now people are getting so used to it's becoming a part of their daily routine. If I don't have to talk to you, I don't want to. I've been to bars now. People still like to talk to you that don't know you. The places that I really notice it is the stores. The stores and anywhere like, heck, go for a hike at a park.
Yeah.
You can still do that, as long as it's not after 10 o'clock. But
you saying
they
that,
still look at the ground when they walk by you.
Yeah, they do.
With you saying that, does that not lead credence to the fact that they lock down bars harder than they lock down stores? Does that not lead credence to why, full capacity on Black Friday at the Walmart, but you can only have 10 people in a bar at any given time?
Well, yeah, because people are willing to. The alcohol does it enough. People don't care. They don't care. They'll still talk to you. When it comes to the stores and everything like that, yeah, people are scared to talk to each other or look at each other. I've said in past shows, freaking the checkout people. They don't even want to have a conversation with you. They don't even want to answer how you doing or I hope you have a good day or anything like that because they're terrified.
Yeah, and
Well,
Ken,
the whole
Ken,
have a good day thing.
Ken was talking about them, and Ken, I don't even care. So I don't even mind. I don't mind. I don't mind people who don't want to wear a mask, who want to wear a mask, or don't want to, or want to.
Right.
I'll be honest. There are opportunities now. There are certain places that I go that I know I'm going to be in contact with a lot of people because I have a brand new granddaughter at home that I will wear a mask because even if it slightly helps me not bring it home to her, for me, that's worth it. However, that doesn't me wearing a mask doesn't stop me from having a conversation. You can still have Jacob just said it. Yesterday, when I was in the hospital all day, I had conversations with everybody there, including the dude getting a procedure next to me, wearing a mask. We were all wearing masks because we were in an environment where we had to. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to break that fear of people that are wearing masks to have a conversation with them anyways, because if you have to wear a mask to shop at that store, you shouldn't stop that from you still having a conversation with people, because the minute you decide to still have conversations with people, you'll start breaking that fear. And if you can start breaking that fear that just because a person has a mask on, you can't talk to them, that will help too.
Right.
And you know what? We'll play. I'm the kind of person that I'm going to play the rules till the day that I don't. Mm-hmm. And that day could be today, could have been yesterday, could have been the day before.
Hey, it might be Friday.
It might be Friday. But I think you can only push us so far that at some point, those of us who are the law-abiding people who believe in the Constitution, at some point we're going to go, you're right. We are those people. We believe in the Constitution, and we've had enough of being pushed around by people like you who don't believe in the Constitution, who aren't representing us, even though that's what your job is. And we've had enough, and we're gonna fight back, whatever that means. And I don't know what that means. I just, much like the founding fathers who probably met at the Green Dragon for the first time or at the Liberty Tree, probably didn't know what it meant. I'm sure they didn't come together the first time and go, hey, yeah, I've been writing this thing for like years. I got this whole book writ out. I've already got it down. All we got to do is get the rest of people go, cool, yeah. They figured it out. And I think that time is coming. I think the time to figure out how to get the country back to where our founding fathers believed. And I'm not going to get into the whole, so you mean, back when, white or black people couldn't vote and when, women couldn't vote. No, that, you're misinterpreting the Constitution and you're believing what people have told you in the past.
I've got
you have to look.
I've got the perfect statement. I've got the perfect
well,
statement.
Well, good, because take us out with it.
We're going to take out. You remember that picture that floated around Facebook for months and months and months of a truck bed or a van with the door slit open, a bunch of rattled up guys, and it said, when we roll up like this and say it's time to do patriot shit, you jump in it, right? Hey guys, it's time to do patriot shit, and unlike what you think patriot shit is, it's not time to sling freedom seeds. It's time to actually do patriot shit. See you on Friday.
That's fair.
And on that note, it's 4 after now? Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad. Thank you everybody for watching. Please,
Please share and get more people on here.
yes,
Oh,
share,
man,
like,
we need
subscribe.
more than 5. Come on, guys.
Share it, share it, share it. Come on. I haven't seen any shares today, so share it. Anyways, so thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Check out the Columbus Capitol this Friday, or Ohio Capitol,
Check
Columbus
my
Capitol.
profile on Facebook. Check Cosper's profile on Facebook. It's somewhere in there.
It's pushing around. There's other people that are posting it as well, I've noticed.
Yep.
Yep. It's definitely something you may want to check out, no matter what you claim to be politically. And we'll see you guys again next Tuesday. We're going to be live again right before Christmas.
Yep.
That's my last day of work, allegedly. We'll see. So everybody have a good week. Be safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Later.